Black and white sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, black and white sports supporters. Well, my goodness, I got to give Caitlin Clark fans a lot of credit. Y'all did not miss. You did not miss. A lot of people, a lot of slows on the Twitter and on the social media space right now doing their little victory laps over that scam known as Unrivaled.
The so-called greatest day in women's basketball history turned out to be nothing more than a carefully packaged illusion. What was hyped as a historic achievement quickly unraveled as attendance claims collapsed under serious scrutiny, exposing shaky numbers and deeply questionable ethics. The celebration wasn't built on genuine fan engagement, but on a deliberate effort to manipulate perception. As the truth surfaced, fans were left stunned and betrayed by the blatant disregard for authenticity. This wasn't a simple mistake or miscalculation. It was a calculated narrative that backfired spectacularly, triggering a reckoning the sports world can no longer ignore.
Right now doing their little victory laps over that scam known as Unrivaled's greatest basketball day in the history of women's anything. By the way, on a side note, you know, there was a volleyball game at Nebraska, women's, that drew 92,000 fans. Is that something I shouldn't bring up, or unrivaled? Too soon for me to bring that up? Because you got people doing the largest attendance ever for a women's sporting event. No.
Social media erupted with premature victory laps, proclaiming Unrivaled's biggest basketball day in the history of women's sports. Influencers and media figures rushed to frame it as a groundbreaking moment, pushing a narrative of unmatched success. But beneath the digital applause, a growing undercurrent of skepticism began to surface, with questions swirling around the credibility of those sweeping claims. The initial rush of excitement faded fast as inconsistencies emerged that simply didn't add up, forcing many to re-examine the very foundation of what was being sold as a historic milestone.
For me to bring that up, because you got people doing the largest attendance ever for a women's sporting event. No, false. Oh, 21,490. I did a video earlier where I just came right out and said this is some scammy, shady bullshit. Excuse my language. Because if you don't think for a second that politically driven corporations didn't get involved in this, if you don't think they didn't find a way to give out tickets to everything they possibly could.
That claim of the largest attendance ever for a women's sporting event melted away almost instantly. A glaring and highly inconvenient fact quickly took center stage. A Nebraska women's volleyball game, largely ignored by the same celebratory voices, had already drawn an astonishing 92,000 fans. That undisputed record, achieved without a massive marketing push or nonstop hype, exposed Unrivaled's boast as not merely exaggerated but outright false. The sudden silence from those who had loudly championed the claim was impossible to miss, an unspoken admission that the narrative simply couldn't survive even the most basic scrutiny.
Celebrities buy pools of tickets. I heard that a WNBA player bought 60 tickets for friends and family. You see, one damn player bought 60 tickets. You see how that works? This is some BS. All right? And I called it out earlier. I said, look, if you guys believe this is legit, without no help from woke corporations buying pools of tickets, woke celebrities buying tickets,
The actual attendance for Unrivaled barely reached 21,490, a figure revealed only after the initial wave of hype had already taken hold. While respectable on its own, the number stood in sharp contrast to the record-breaking claims that had been aggressively promoted. The gap between the inflated rhetoric and the verifiable reality exposed a serious disconnect, forcing many to question the integrity of the entire event. For a growing number of fans, it didn't feel like an honest mistake. It felt like a deliberate effort to mislead, a classic bait-and-switch unfolding in real time.
Look, if you guys believe this is legit, without no help from woke corporations buying pools of tickets, woke celebrities buying tickets, you're as delusional as the players that won't sign to CBA right now. So, some people tried to bring Caitlin Clark into this. Oh, look at all the people here, and Caitlin Clark's nowhere to be seen. Well, yeah, she's not playing in that ratchet-ass league, that 3x3 league that is literally hanging on by a thread. My boy Ben Daniel, in his video earlier,
whispers of corporate manipulation quickly escalated into direct accusations. Many began to believe that politically motivated organizations had embedded themselves within the event, not to genuinely uplift women's sports, but to push a predetermined agenda. The tactic was simple yet deeply deceptive: bulk purchasing tickets and redistributing them to artificially inflate attendance figures. This wasn't driven by organic demand or real fan enthusiasm. It was about using corporate influence to manufacture an optics victory, prioritizing a carefully crafted narrative over authentic engagement. As more details surfaced, the true intent behind the operation became harder to ignore, exposing a deeply cynical undercurrent beneath the spectacle.
The one that broke the women's attendance. Oh, shit. It's a bad idea. You went out there running your mouth. It was a bad idea because you got checked. Somebody checked your head right off your neck. Right out of the gate, J-Mac. Oh, you mean this 55,000 right here with Caitlin Clark? It was one game, not two. Yeah, by the way, wasn't this like an unrivaled doubleheader?
Concrete examples soon surfaced, solidifying the growing suspicions. Reports revealed that a prominent WNBA player had purchased an astonishing 60 tickets for friends and family, a single act that, regardless of intent, highlighted just how easily attendance figures could be inflated. If one individual could make that kind of bulk contribution, the cumulative impact of corporate purchases or celebrity involvement becomes impossible to ignore. The picture was suddenly clear. Many seats were likely occupied not by genuine paying fans, but by recipients of strategic giveaways, further undermining the credibility of the event.
Over 55,000 fans showed up. Oh, you done called the fans out now. That right there, this is the University of Iowa. Heard of it? The Hawkeyes, they literally put a basketball game in the football stadium. That's what they did. They told Kurt Ferentz and whichever future NFL tight end on the team, y'all going to have to get off the field. Y'all going to have to get off the field because Caitlin Clark's going to play. So let me just give you a little specific here. The Iowa Hawkeyes played a historic...
The central question no longer revolved around how many people were in attendance, but how those people actually obtained their tickets. That distinction cut straight to the heart of the issue, exposing the uncomfortable truth behind the numbers. Were these genuine consumers willingly spending their own money for a seat, or were they the recipients of free passes, corporate handouts, or other non-market incentives? Ticket acquisition, not raw headcount, became the real measure of legitimate interest. And in this case, it pointed far more toward manufacturer attendance than an authentic surge of public demand.
That's me. Go follow me on the Twitter X. By the way, and I tagged the Indiana Fever, the Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium. I even tagged Pat McAfee because he can get some stuff done. Get Caitlin Clark in Lucas Oil Stadium and see what happens. Yeah. Get her and the Indiana Fever in Lucas Oil Stadium to play a game. Go over, retweet this. See how loud you can get.
What added even more doubt were the conditions surrounding the event in Philadelphia. People started asking simple questions. Was it freezing? Was it snowing? Were free tickets handed out just to get people indoors? That possibility alone cast a dark cloud over the so-called record. Critics didn't hold back, calling the spectacle shady, even scammy, arguing this was a marketing hype, but deliberate deception driven by politically motivated corporations chasing optics, not real fans. When some tried dragging Caitlin Clark into the mess, it backfired instantly. She wasn't absent because women's basketball lacks appeal. She simply wasn't playing in a struggling league. The real proof came elsewhere. Iowa moved a women's game to a football stadium, and over 55,000 paying fans showed up for Caitlin Clark. No giveaways, no corporate tricks, just pure demand. That's the difference between manufactured hype and real star power. Truth doesn't need handouts. It fills seats on its own.